Your Cincinnati Bengals beat the Tennessee Titans once again. Joe Burrow's now 3-0 versus the Titans. And the season seems to be on the right track. This is Bengals on the Brain. I'm Joe Goodberry, of course. It took me too long to get to that point. I was just going to start talking, but that's okay. Big game. Huge game. That was fun. I mean, this team has won in so many different ways, especially over the last 2 years. Whether they need to air it out and go in a shootout mode type game, whether it needs to be a ground and pound type game, they just lean on Joe Mixon for 5 touchdowns, right? We saw that a few weeks ago. They need to throw it up to T. Higgins down the field. We've seen that now the last few weeks. Look like a number 1 type wide receiver. And we see them when they just need to play defense and be physical and be tough. And I think they thrive in those situations. It's funny because I think everyone watches from the national perspective. The Browns beat the Bengals. And what are the Browns? They're a physical ground and pound, heavy run team. So I think they think that applies. I don't know why they can't stop the Browns. I don't know. But they think that applies to other teams. It does not. You rarely see a team more physical than the Bengals when they go play them. Either they can match them sometimes, the Steelers, Ravens, AFC North type football. But the Titans, former AFC division rival, they still have it in their blood. You can see it. But I think it shocks them every time. The Titans were chippy. They were nasty. They downplayed it. They wanted revenge. And I don't think the Bengals let them have it at all, man. The Bengals looked like they had a chip on their shoulder. Man, Ted Karras after the game. I hope you saw that video.
Right up yours, Tennessee! You!
Fun game, fun performance. A lot of weird stuff happened. But, we tend to lean, I think, offense on this show a lot with our reviews. I'm going to do something different today. And because the defense was so dominant and holding really one long screen pass that almost went in the Bengals' favor. Other than that, bunch of field goals, and especially red zone defense. The Titans were a top, I want to say 2 red zone offense. They might have been number 1 coming into this after the Packers game. But they were the most efficient red zone offense in turning opportunities into touchdowns. I think it's the run game. That's a big part down there. Everything gets condensed, but it doesn't matter. The Bengals hold them to all field goal attempts, and they eventually miss one. Defense was lights out. The run defense was lights out. I've never seen Derrick Henry take so many big hits before. I mean, just getting absolutely clobbered. 2.2 yards per carry. So what we're going to do, I've already been talking for 2.5 minutes, is just look at the defense. And not just the defense. We're going to look at every single player that contributed on the defense from guys that just had 6 snaps. I think we're going to feature 16 players. So all the backups and role players and spot players that have just... Maybe it's just, I just cover tight ends and man coverage. That's your role. Trey Flowers, talking about you. You're even going to get a play here. So every single player is going to get one moment to shine to show what they did, or maybe their best play of the game. Maybe a handful of guys will show up multiple times because some guys really are peaking at the right moment. I'm not going to edit that out. That's my phone. I'm going to silence it. But here's the video of the first half and how many guys made big plays for this defense. Starting the game off, first play is Vonn Bell from the safety position right there. You're going to see we got a screen to Derrick Henry. Probably the best play the Titans had all game was the screen to Henry. But you see how he makes that guy miss in space, comes in, makes the tackle, gang tackle by everyone. Just a very heady play by Bell. Now Bates. Bates is going to show blitz over the middle. He's going to show it twice. Really wants Tannehill to know they're coming. And then everyone drops back. They only rush 4. And Bates is going to pick up the targeted receiver over the middle of the field, which is important because I think that's exactly where Tannehill wants to go early and then late. So you're going to see here Bates looks like I'm definitely blitzing up the middle. Tannehill looks rushed already, realizes he's not blitzing, wants the receiver over the middle. It's not there. Bates does a good job carrying him after that, following the eyes of Ryan Tannehill. I want to highlight Pratt, Hill, and Tufele in the middle of this defense here. Really, Tufele, as he takes on the double team, allows Pratt to go free, and then B.J. Hill just breaks off his guy, and that's a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Again, it takes a nose tackle to really have an odd front that works the way it does for the Bengals. And we got a pass play, and then on play action, you're going to wonder, where's the pass rush? You got to defend the run first, then break free, lay a hit on the quarterback. Don't allow him to get that shot down the middle of the field. One-on-one with your safety. So good play there by Trey Hendrickson. Let's get Sam Hubbard in here now on the run defender. Probably the best
overall run defender, I think, on the team. I mean, DJ Reader does what he does for everyone else, but on an individual basis, I think it's Sam Hubbard. And the way he kicks inside here, splits the block between the pulling guy and the wide receiver, and then the tight end coming across, and then makes that first initial hit for a tackle for a loss. I mean, that's just Sam Hubbard having a career year this year. The worst play for the defense, but probably the best play for rookie Cam Taylor-Britt. We're going to watch him up here. He's in man coverage, so he's going to take this guy all the way downfield. Screens are big plays a lot of times when you get man coverage, because if you can just block that guy that's supposed to take Henry, that's a big play. Now, keep your eye on Cam Taylor-Britt. He's really the only guy here break off his tackle, and then he's going to just run him down full speed and hawk this ball out. I mean, you could see how amped up he is after that they almost turned the biggest negative play on defense into a huge positive. I mean, what is this game if this ends up falling into Jessie Bates' hands? I mean, this defensive shutdown completely. Like, that's Charles Tillman, peanut punch for that forced fumble. Amazing effort. The next rookie gets into this, Dax Hill, and the Bengals got a blitz, or at least they're showing blitz from everyone. It's going to be Hill and Bates coming from that side, but the Titans are actually going to say, hey, let's pick it up on the right side here with Akeem Davis-Gaither with a running back. That's going to be the mistake for them as Dax Hill comes free, lays a hit. I want to shout out to Eli Apple here for making this a contested grab. It was a bad throw, but he does his job to rip in there, and we got Logan Wilson in coverage here. This is his best play of the day, and we're looking as he's carrying the guy over the middle, and then he's going to come back on this deep hook route or comeback route, and just reading Ryan Tannehill's eyes, changing direction, and then leaving his feet full extension just to get a tip on that ball. Titans have to settle for a field goal here right before halftime. Big play.
Bengals get out of halftime, or go into halftime. Is it 10-10 at halftime after the Titans missed a field goal, and Randy Bullock wasn't even playing this game. I kind of wanted a kicker duel, but again, we've had it. We've had our fun there. We've got the guy. Speaking of which, Evan McPherson looks completely back to normal if you were concerned about him. And if you're concerned with Drew Chrisman holding for him, none of that seems to be an issue. He is back on being Money Mac for now. So, defense, though. Tremendous first half performance. Just that long screen, which, man, Cam Taylor-Britt. Speaking of, a lot of people asked me to do a follow-up on Cam Taylor-Britt after last week. I thought he was good, except for the blown plays. I thought he was even better this week. I mean, the guy is really... The physical aspect he has brought to that secondary, I think, is contagious and infectious, and it's... Maybe it was just this game. Maybe they were all amped up for this, but man, he stood out so many times. You hawk that ball down like that and just full Superman parallel to the ground, and just... I don't even know how you get enough force on it when your legs aren't involved. You're just flying at it and ripping at the ball. Tremendous play. But there were a few others where he was very physical, very good in coverage as well. He jamming guys and disrupting them at the line of scrimmage. He's twitchy enough. He's fast enough to stay with people. My only concern really at this point are how are his ball skills, deep ball skills. It's something that I had concerns of Nebraska. And then we've had a couple lapses in zone coverage. That could just be rookie young player stuff because he seems like a smart dude. So maybe that, will get ironed out as we go. It's something to watch. I don't think he'll ever become a great ball skills type of guy. But if he's this, I mean, you can start this and you can have a pretty good player. So shout out to him. I mean, that'd be really clutch down the stretch if he's this kind of guy, or at least rounding into this form more often. Second half, though. Let's hit it up. These are the guys that stood out in the second half. I think they really started to clamp down. That final drive, man. And we'll talk about it. Actually, I want to save that for after this video. So here is second half. Biggest plays. Everyone getting their chance to shine on the defense. Everyone contributing. Shout out to Lou Anarumo, because there's no clip of you, but some good play calls in here too.
Kicking off the second half, we've got B.J. Hill and Joseph Ossai, because he's got to defend the run, because he's never going to get a pass rushing opportunity again. That's besides the point. Defend the run, squeeze the gap, and make the tackle with your defensive tackle. Good job for Ossai. Run stop, I should say, to start the game. Eli Apple out here on an island, cover 3. It looks like he's going to take this out route, make a nice pass breakup. This is on second down. So again, we got back-to-back plays here where it's like, you get this defensive stop, then you got someone in the secondary making a play. You're putting Ryan Tannehill and this Titans offense in a bad third and long situation. Exactly what you want. So on third downs, what do? You bring Trey Flowers. Let's give some flowers to Trey Flowers. Yeah, boo me if you want. I'm right. He covers tight ends. That's what he does in man coverage. If he's out there, I think you pretty much know what he's doing. and he's covering tight ends in man coverage. So if you watch him, number 33, he clamps him. He locks him up pretty good. Hooper was getting open underneath in the zone coverages, so it's nice that the Bengals switched it up second half, a little bit of more man coverage here. Tackle end stunt twist up front. Sam Hubbard cleans it up for the sack after the nice coverage on the back half. Mike Hilton, nasty against the run all game. Boom, just 3 times. I think he just took out the legs of Derrick Henry, and this man thinks he's double the size he actually is, so God bless him. Rare appearance from Akeem Davis-Gaither. He's going to drop into coverage. Titans are going to show one way, throw a screen back the other way. Again, the screen this time to a tight end, and he's just going to do a great job. First, I want to point out that you can see here instantly once they bring that tight end and he starts changing it up and calling it out for the defense. It shows that even as a backup, they trust him a lot to make some calls and checks. You got to be an athlete. Make that guy miss you. Plant your feet in this terrible grass, and then make the tackle. Akeem Davis-Gaither, Jessie Bates, split that tackle. Good job, you two. The star of the show anytime you play the Tennessee Titans, DJ Reader at nose tackle. Going to take on 2 guys here, blow them both back into the backfield, and then you get tackles by Jessie Bates and Sam Hubbard scraping down the line, playing their gaps. DJ Reader, monster. Germaine Pratt, on fire lately. He's got to take on this offensive lineman in the open field, break off of him, and just lay a monster hit. I wanted to show this because this is the drive. It was just going blow for blow. It was like Derrick Henry would get 6 yards, 8 yards, but the Bengals were just blasting him, and then they were getting a bunch of tackles for a loss as well. Watch the nose tackle, DJ Reader, Zach Carter, Germaine Pratt knifing between the two. You can't knife between 2 linemen if they're not holding up their ends of the blocks. Great job up front, allowing Pratt to run free as he's done for most of the year now as he's fast-fitting on defense. Jay Tufele, keep your eyes on him. It's not really what he does here, although I do like throwing your guy into the ground. It's the pursuit. It's the effort. It's staying with it. It's helping your teammates out. Signifies pretty much what the defense did all day. B.J. Hill, Mike Hilton, and Germaine Pratt. Keep your eyes on those guys, especially Hilton and Pratt, as they're going to knife through, one on the backside, one between the tackle and tight end. Watch how Pratt gets skinny between that hole and has to take on the pulling guard. Hilton on the other side coming in, making the tackle, but don't forget about B.J. Hill. Watch how far he blows back this right guard 54 here, and I think that's really the key to the play because Henry's got nowhere to go when you've got up front penetration plus guys knifing in the backfield. And the final defensive play, because you're going to hold the Titans to a field goal here, Cam Sample makes a tackle for a loss. Titans are ultimately going to settle for a field goal and not go for the game-tying touchdown, I guess. You know, they got to do what they do. But it's a fake screen to the left. I don't think he's actually going to throw it. If you go back a couple clicks when they show the whole view, it was open, man. He probably should have thrown that one. But good job by Cam Sample, setting the edge, then running with the running back and making a tackle for the loss. Man, this defense really came through there at the end, needed a stop. Just watch that last drive. I think even if you're a casual football fan, that last drive is amazing. Blow for blow, Titans, Bengals going back and forth. It's the Bengals out on top of this one.
I'd love to just play that last drive. Titans had a successful drive. It really wasn't until the penalty and then that failed screen right at the end where they're like, okay, we're not going to be able to push this ball down the field. We got to settle for a field goal. Sort of. I think they could have been more aggressive on that third down and maybe tried to go for it on fourth. They never get the ball back. And that's part of, like, you guys, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I'm like, if you're going to win a game, you win it on offense. And the Titans love their defense. They believe in their defense. But, man, you're telling me Joe Burrow and the Bengals with 6 minutes to go and you expect to get the ball back. They almost did. Then they messed up on the field goal. So maybe it would have turned out differently. But, you know, just when you never get the ball back, I'm going to second guess it. And then you see, like, Chargers and Jags going for two and going for the win while you're on offense with the ball in your possession. That's my mindset. So I didn't like that out of the Titans. And then I didn't like that out of Zach Taylor, too. 2 runs at the end before the 2-minute warning, and then after the 2-minute warning. A touchdown wins the game, wins it, puts it away. That's worth more than the 15 seconds you end up taking off the clock. It's just, in my opinion, you throw that ball, you let Joe Burrow win that game for you. It could have come back and bite them. But we're not here for that. We're not doing that today. We're not. That last drive, if you can go back and watch it, as a slugfest between the Bengals and Titans. There were 6-yard runs, There were 6-yard runs by Henry, and he's getting blasted. And then there was a 2-yard run, and he gets blasted. And then there's a -2, and then there's a -4, and then there's a 5-yard run, and he gets blasted. It was just heavyweight, bam, 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 bam. The Titans were converting because you take a couple 5-yard runs, you're getting a first down, but they were getting punished for it the whole time. Really good job by the defense standing up. I'm really impressed. The tape was excellent, fun to watch. If you're like a high school or pee-wee coach, you mostly defend the run. You mostly play with like an extra guy in the box, or maybe even like this a 5-man front. You can show this to your players and be like, this is gap integrity. This is setting the edge, containing the edge. This is how you float to the ball. It's how you fast fit on defense. There's just so much you could take from this Bengals defense against the Titans that has a lot of value. So if you get your hands on the tape, if you can subscribe to NFL Game Pass and get this stuff and watch it yourself. I know I didn't. It's kind of fragmented the way I did it, but go watch it yourself. I always say, watch the tape. Chiefs game coming up to go on. Not to spend too much time on them. I won't. I could. It's the Chiefs. It's the biggest test of the season, maybe. Titans, Chiefs, Bills coming up. Got the Ravens still. Let's see if that matters. Got the Bucks, who didn't look so good. Got the Patriots. We'll see how they look Thursday night. Things are looking up. Bengals, most models have them at 75 to 78% chance of making the playoffs at this point. Even with a loss to the Chiefs, it's still like 70%. Just going through that. Not saying I don't even want to put that juju in there. I think we still got something on the Chiefs here. Chiefs want some revenge. Guaranteed. We'll see if it matters. It didn't matter for the Titans at all. If anything, it made them play worse. So, 7-4. Heating up on the right track. Getting Jamar Chase back. That's the excitement. Uday.